guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button. If you like them even more, please subscribe. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 8 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Tuesday the 20th of September.
And Alexa, the weather? Alexa, the weather?
Currently, in Rochester it's 9 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today, I can expect Atlantic clouds, with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 9 degrees.
Right guys, so yesterday me, Crystal, watched the Queen's funeral on the television in my flat by myself at about 11 a.m. and I carried on watching it until I went out in the afternoon and took Max for a walk by myself. So I sat down and I watched the funeral in peace and quiet, and it was a lovely service. I thought that the royal family held themselves well, considering for most of the day, especially Anne, Andrew, Edward and King Charles were stood behind the coffin on their feet, and all those poor guards in their uniform with their bearskin hats walking for long periods of time on their feet without anything to eat or drink. I think they were wonderful. So I applaud them, and the service was beautiful. The readings that were read, the hymns that were sung, and the speeches were wonderful, and it was a beautiful service, and the Queen had an amazing send-off, and now may she rest in peace with her beloved husband, Prince Philip. And now all of us have to carry on living in this world, which is chaotic. The cost of living is expensive. The heating is extortionate. To heat your home is extortionate. To feed your family is extortionate. I went into the co-op the other day and the price of food has doubled. So I used to get those little Battenberg cakes and they were £1 from the co-op. It's about 6 little mini Battenberg cakes in a packet for £1. They are now £2.55, which is over double the price that they used to be. So now the Queen is laid to rest. Everybody has now got to get on with living their own lives and carrying on before this traumatic 10 or 11 days that we've all had, a great big shock. We've lost our beloved Queen, and now we've got to carry on. And, you know, King Charles III, his coronation is going to happen in I don't know how long, you know, but we're going to have another coronation. We're going to see King Charles' coronation. Someone said to me that should make me happy. I don't see why it would make me personally happy, but that's what someone said to me yesterday. Because someone texted me and I said I'm watching the Queen's funeral. They said, well, maybe the King's coronation will cheer you up. I don't know if it'll cheer me up, but I will watch that as well. I just wanted to say that the Queen went through some personal hard experiences this year and the previous year. With Prince Andrew, she must have had a great shock and stress with all that to do with Prince Andrew. She also came down with coronavirus, and you know, Meghan and Harry going off to America, and she was put through a lot of stress and strain. And, you know, it's bad enough when you're young and healthy, but when you're old and you go through a lot of stress, it can make you feel very, very ill and unwell. And the Queen was brought up to be strong and not show people, you know, that side. She always showed strength and resilience. You didn't see her really moody and upset, did you? She always was there. She was strong for us all. So now we've got to see how King Charles III measures up to Queen Elizabeth. He, you know, for me, 70 years reign, a wonderful woman. I don't think anyone can take Queen Elizabeth II's place. It's going to be hard shoes to follow it. But prepared to give him a chance, because he held himself well. I mean, he stood up. He didn't moan, complain, and that they all did, didn't they? Stood, apart from Camilla and Kate and the Duchess of Sussex and another lady who was sat in the cars, slowly going behind. They weren't stood up. Well, Kate's got 2 children. You can't expect little children to walk in a great big procession. But Anne, Charles, Edward and Andrew all stood behind there, walking and walking and walking in heavy uniforms. And Princess Anne is showing remarkable strength like her mother. She probably takes after her mum. So all yesterday I was on and off watching the funeral, the interment service as well in the evening. I later on went out for a walk with Max in the evening around 7:15 p.m. in the evening, when it was starting to get dark. And there were people about. There was people about in the afternoon. There was people about in the evening. They did shut the co-op until 5 p.m. when obviously people rushed out at 5 to go to the co-op. And they did shut Costa's down. It was open in the early morning, but I think they shut it in the afternoon. So there were people about down here in Rochester yesterday. Now, I've got up this morning not feeling great. It's been an upsetting 10, 11 days, and it takes a toll on your mental health. My mum rang me early this morning, about 10 to 8, and I was up. I was up at about 7:10 this morning. Do you still want to come up Genestra? My name is Crystal, but she still calls me Genestra. I said, yes, Mum, I do. I haven't seen anybody for about 11 days now. Not seen anyone properly. My son's away in a different country. Been by myself. Yes, people have been texting me, but I don't know who they are. They're not real, as in a real person that you meet outside and speak to. They're internet. Don't know who you're speaking to be honest. So I said, yes, I'll come up today, Mum. She said, well, I don't know if I can get you a taxi because the roads are quiet. Now, my mum doesn't go out. She lives in a little cul-de-sac at the end. There's no through road. So how the hell would she know if the traffic was heavy or light? It's Luton Road that gets blocked up. She lives in a cul-de-sac. She also lives in Cloud Cuckoo Land, but there you are. She lives on a totally different planet, my mum. She really does not live in the real world at all. So I said, how do you know? And she cut me off. My mum will not let me speak. She will not let me speak, so if I speak, she cuts over me, which is rude. But some people never grow up, I'm afraid. They'll stay like a child for the rest of their life and just be totally selfish, thinking about themselves only. And I'm afraid that's something my mother is, selfish and thinks of herself all the time. You cannot speak, you cannot have your opinion, so you have to sit there and let her just talk. And as in my son's case, he just got up and he walked out the front door. When he went to visit my mum, he just quietly said, like, I can't stand this, and he got up and he walked out the front door to his car. She's an overbearing, selfish woman, but that's a mental health illness. She's never grown up. She was put in a home as a child, Jennifer was. Her mum put her in a home because apparently she couldn't cope with her, and which I wouldn't put a child in a home personally. So my mum's gone through a lot. So you have to understand and try not to get cross with her, but because of what's happened to her as a child, she's not grown up, and she's very self-centered, and she just talks about herself all the time, like she's the centre of attention. In my opinion, I brought myself up as a child. My parents were useless. My dad abused me. My mum was always in mental health institutions. I coped by myself. When I was a kid, I coped with all the pain, all the abuse by myself. Very strong person I am. Most kids, it would drag them under into drugs or drink, but not me. So my father's dead, and I've still got a mother that doesn't understand anything but her. The whole world revolves around her, Jennifer. That's what she believes. That the whole world is her. She's the main being, and we're all copying her. And I have to go in there and listen to that. But she's my mum. I love my mum, and I respect that she's got an illness, and I have to listen to that for 6 hours. But I do have a choice to leave if she gets too overbearing. Right, guys. So I'm waiting for a call from my mum later on to tell me that she's ordered a taxi to Corey's Road, Rochester, to take me, her daughter, Crystal Genestra, up to Durrell Gardens. And yes, I have got jeans on, but most people in the autumn, winter, wear jeans. And they're not rolled up at the bottom, they're tight, skinny jeans. And I've got nothing sticking out of the pockets. And guys, my mum said she'd see you soon to me over the phone, and I'll see you all later. Bye.